Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all. Living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chillin' with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My focus is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all. Living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chillin' with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My focus is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough.
That's an amazing way to start.
We're very much live.
I'm a good podcast host. I do this. You know,
A+.
I do this thing that we call podcast hosting. Arcade, Flameser, Swaggy C, Much love to you guys, dude. Thank you so much for hanging out. You see how I put a tick in the octave, and
Oh,
I enunciate a little bit more,
that's
and
professional right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what's bad? My voice control is absolute trash, and
Mm.
I need what do we call it? Throat coat. But yeah, beyond moving on.
Yes, throat coat. Throat coat
Yeah,
saves
throat
lives,
coat.
guys.
Yeah, it really does. And but yes, thank you guys so much. We are on episode 262 of the Double XP podcast, and we have some extra special guests because somebody had to take, somebody's had to take some
Mm.
time off. We got somebody taking care of themselves. Much love to them. Then we got somebody who's in Japan, representing
Wow.
a whole publisher. No big deal. Level One Gaming, we're just a small outfit with people who do dope stuff.
Out here.
Yeah, we're out here, but of course these folks leave us during some of the craziest news to ever
Yo.
pop off. It's
Yep.
it's absolutely insane, and honestly, that's all we're going to talk about today. And then if we have time, we'll talk about Starfield, which is kind of looped into all this other craziness that we're talking about. But yes, let's get into the introductions. We have Level One Gaming's right hand, well, man, the floor hugger, as Fame likes to say, with the hardest of ours. How are you doing today?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing good. Wasn't expecting, I thought it was gonna be a dry night, we wouldn't have much to talk about, and then it's like, well, Pam, okay, dang, okay. So let's just get into it, because I don't know what to expect.
No, seriously, I was like trying to drum up things to talk about. And it's funny because when I was hitting up our next guest that I'm introducing, Roger, from the gamerheadspodcast.com, or is it .net? I'm sorry.
No, it's .com. You're right.
.com.
You got it.
And no, I just want
Yeah.
to make sure. I hate butchering people's stuff. But no, I was seriously stressing, like, damn, what the hell are we going to talk about? I mean, of course, I can always talk about Starfield because that's never
my
a
God.
problem. But then we
money.
had the bombshell of news to drop around Xbox, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. But yes, Roger from the gamerheadspodcast.com. How are you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. I feel like I don't know if I'm leveled up enough to be on this podcast. So
Hey.
That's smooth. Okay.
I
wish I was that
okay.
smooth. Damn.
No, hey, like all seriousness, I am so glad you're here. This is a thing that we've been talking about behind the scenes, is just working more with folks within our realm laterally, because everybody works so hard. We all try to reach up for the big wigs in the industry and some of the top guys, but of course we get those no emails or those no responses. But we being able to interact with folks within our realm who do a lot of the things we do, and being able to expand each other's fan bases and meld into one, because we all love gaming. And that's why I'm just so grateful that you're here and taking the time out to talk to us about all this craziness and your thoughts
Thanks.
and perspective.
Please.
Now, right, I just went on a whole thing, and Rain, I
Trying to
seen
be
what
as
you
smooth as
said.
you.
I seen what you said. We gonna talk about that, all right? Ain't no holiday heart over here. But right. No. Hey, no, you seen the first message. It's all good, right? Hey, but no, I ain't gonna,
Your feelings are hurt.
I'm ready. No, but no, I'm ready.
God.
I stay ready.
Get your whistle. I'll get you your hat. I'll mail you one right
Look.
now. Okay.
I'm about to drop all this stuff. I'm gonna hold this for the rest of the night now because I don't want to drop it.
The drum major.
Oh.
The drum major. But no,
of the podcast.
and last but certainly not least, you've seen her all over the internet in the best way possible. You see how I did that?
Yeah, hopefully not.
Right?
Yeah, hopefully not. What context?
HBCU Esports League, community, NBA. Didn't you do something with the NBA too?
NBA. That was with 2K. So
Look,
we'll see.
oh my God, no big deal. Just NBA adjacent through their official trademark game through 2K. No big deal. Boardy McBoard. I hope I
We
didn't
got
crack too much so you guys can hear it. But yeah.
Oh no, I can hear. I can hear fine. What's up, guys? I'm trying to be as smooth as our boy down here, something smooth. I'm not smooth. But I'm excited, dude. Everything dropped at the 9th hour. Like literally it was like 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of meat. It's no fat, no bones. It's just straight to the meat, which I love to see. So we gonna make this sandwich packed up, all right? The sandwich is gonna be popping.
Sandwiches.
The sandwiches. I'm
But
trying to
yes.
get like Starfield sandwiches, okay?
So honestly, right, dude, so many freaking different types of sandwiches. But
I was about to say, Baron.
As I was gonna no.
We're not gonna-
Let's jump right into it. And I had a bunch of stuff open, and of course I didn't like save it, and I closed it because I am the best host ever. But yes. So long story short, which is a lie every time I say that. I always say that, and then I end up going into complete massive detail. Xbox, at this point, it's been proven, or it's been stated that Xbox accidentally like doxed all of their financials plans, and then as of like within the last hour, their financials.
Really? I didn't know that
Yeah.
in the last
Oh
hour that
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Oh,
So in the
okay. Let
last
me go
hour,
look
we
for
have
that.
their revenue, the revenue information that went up, like the profit margins and everything, within the last hour. So it's just been a absolute day of leaks. Everything from upcoming consoles to rumored console designs to what's going to be happening with the Xbox Design Lab to rumored to titles that were being worked on or thrown around within Bethesda before being purchased. I mean, we're talking Fallout 3 remaster, we're talking Oblivion, we're talking which Dishonored 3, like which I hope is more like Dishonored 1 and not 2.
Yes.
But I mean, we're talking easy. I mean, hell, you've seen the dates go up to 2030. You see information about plans from Xbox leading up to as late as 2030. This was a lot.
It is so funny because like the FTC deal is the gift that keeps on giving, right? Because we were expecting, oh, it's just gonna be a PlayStation getting and Microsoft getting at each other. That's about it that we're all gonna see. We are getting all the information about it. We're getting their government name, where they were last week, what they ate for breakfast. Like I promise you, everything from Microsoft. And it's kind of funny to me, as someone who was like this close to working for Microsoft. There was a big emphasis. I really was like this close for working for them. There was a huge emphasis on like trying to like upgrade cloud security and just everything about the cloud. And so it's no surprise that all of their cloud information, no security is there. It's just all their information being leaked right now. And there's so many juicy things to get to. It's kind of hard to parse between two.
No, but that's actually another point that has to do more with Microsoft as a whole. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I did see somewhere that their Azure stuff hit the internet. Like that, and I didn't even, it's funny, that's not even in the plans to be covered today. So Microsoft, not just Xbox, Microsoft as a whole just had so much information just dumped out for the world to see. Now, funny enough, a lot of this, I mean, in terms of plans, at least for Xbox, I don't think it was a bad thing. It's bad as in the fans are going to rip it apart and constantly expect, like, now the next showcase, I'm expecting to see Fallout 3 news.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry.
Now, we have timetables now, so you can't hide your hand.
Yeah. Like, no, and this is, so now we're living in a world where, I did a video earlier and I mentioned how I feel like it's going to be hard to surprise us. I feel like there's going to be an extra effort to ooh and ahs. And here it is. Xbox has taken 2 major steps forward. You had a major success of Starfield. You've had big success with boosting sales of your console, and then you're winning over all these people. Everything's going well, and then the huge step back is now your plans for the next almost 10 years. Like, your next 7 years have been revealed on the internet. You can say all you want that was old news and this and that, but there's still some DNA from that's going to be part of your newer plans. So, being very general, and you guys can pick whatever you want, and we'll start with you, our guest who's first time here, because Bordy live here.
She get her own
Roger.
drinks.
I'm in the
What?
basement, honestly. Freezing. How you guys doing?
Roger, what stood out to you the most? Like, what out of all of this news stood out most from these leaks?
Well, I think first of all, I'll say I'm like sad because part of the fun of like seeing these releases is like being surprised and like, whoa! It's like when The Rock came back to SmackDown on Friday. You're like, whoa, what? You know, like, so like this is like, if you can imagine if like, well, we all kind of guessed The Rock was going to come back, but like if you knew like this is the day, you know, like that's sad, right? Like, so for me, like I'm disappointed in the fact that happened. The other funny thing I'll just quickly say about the whole leak thing, wasn't it? Now maybe I'm reading old news, but didn't they upload it to a server that the government provided them a link? And oops, it's a public link, not a private link. So like if I was Microsoft, I'd be like, you know, we have a thing. We have Azure. Maybe you want to look into it. We can actually provide you some secure, website. And so like if I would be pitching it like that, you know, like, hey,
instead of a lawsuit, you give us a contract.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Wow, yeah.
And this isn't the first time that we've seen big data being leaked from government servers. So the fact that they didn't that's crazy.
Right?
Holy crap! I didn't even think that angle.
Boy, I'm on the conspiracy theory that I think they did it. I think they leaked their own document. Well, think about it. If somebody were to leak all this, the litigation, court time, fines that they would have to pay, even their families wouldn't be able to cover their legal fees going against Microsoft for leaking all
Oh
this
yeah,
stuff.
I thought that too, right? Like, if it's on that side, that seems kind of like I'd be like lawsuit, like that's coming, but
you would
haven't heard
bury
anything
somebody
about
for the rest of their life.
Oh my god!
They buried people for way less. Okay,
way less. Hey, so we got our first super chat. Floor Hugger and Bordy are beautiful phenomenons. I'm glad I was able to read that. And then of course from David, our famous entertainment 2K Baron is a bot. I normally I'd say I'm not, but as I look over, my Xbox is currently on. It probably so I'm a bot.
Damn,
I'm totally a bot.
Now you got called out exposed, just like Microsoft. Crazy.
Exposed. But no, so this is absolutely wild. And Bordy, what stood out to you?
I feel like this is an undercurrent. Microsoft says that they may exit gaming business if Game Pass subscribers off console don't increase enough by 2023. Like that's kind of crazy, especially considering like all the success that they've had from Game Pass, the way that Game Pass, you were talking about it, I think in the extra segment for last week. Become a member, guys. Make sure you go ahead, join the membership button so you can go ahead and hear all the juicy details. Like button. I'm famed today. Go ahead, smash that like button.
Yeah.
150 likes, whatever.
I'm horrible at that.
I have no shame, so I'll go ahead and say like everything. Comment, please. Review. But they've had so much success, and it really does change, I guess, the paradigm, especially since they're going to cloud-based. We'll talk a little bit about that later. Having Game Pass is an excellent way of like integrating that in a smooth way. So the fact that they're saying, no, we're just going to pull out completely, not even pull out of Game Pass in general, but pull out the game completely if they don't have subs, I feel like that might be a little bit of a lie, a little bit of an embellish, but it doesn't. It now brings up the possibility that Game Pass may not be a thing if they don't see the growth. And as we're seeing right now, all of these companies are very obsessed with their growth. That's why we're having all these companies raise prices, because less people are watching these things because of the pandemic and everything like that.
What's up, Iron
So people
Lords?
are obsessed with growth, and they might ditch it if push comes to shove. That's interesting. I don't know how much I believe their bluff, but it's on the table.
And I've always wondered, right? Because you hear when a company this big, you got to have those, like, I don't know if the term red herring.
Yeah.
Hey, much love for the raid. Much love to the Iron Lords. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate those dudes over there. Addict. Much love. But yeah, so I do not know how much of a, I hope I'm using the right term, red herring that was. Like, because I'm not a business major. Everything I do is in the consumer standpoint. Whatever benefits me, I tend not to care how it benefits the big wigs. I'm very selfish in that way. But you seem to be doing pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
like why? Like, even from what I understand, you're making billions a quarter off of Game Pass alone.
Why abandon something that's
Yeah.
been so successful that even your
Yeah.
competitor is sweating themselves trying to like get into the game? Not really, because they don't have the same amount of material
Structure,
that they're producing, any structure, anything like that. But like, it's causing Sony to like scramble and be like, we have to make PlayStation Plus better and increase the price just so we can kind of compete. So it also, as I said before, like, you're talking about transitioning into cloud-based gaming. A subscription service is a best way to do it, so that you have a low barrier entry for people. You have a low barrier entry with the console price as well, for only $200 on Black Friday for some of those consoles that they're talking about. So it only seems natural. I don't believe it. That's why I don't believe it. But
Yeah.
again, it's on the table, so that's interesting to me.
That was the point I was trying to make. I wonder if they threw that in to bust like a special group of people who had access to that data, and it was like, like, if anybody shared that out, that means
then we
this
know
group,
who's
that group
I
had
wouldn't be
this.
surprised
Like, that would
if
be
they put that in a false trap.
just have little, like, hey, it could only came from this sample group of people who got that message.
Like Hustle says,
You got it?
with his $5 is
Hustle!
this entire thing is premeditated for Microsoft. There's no way that anyone lets a file that large leak to the public. Love y'all. We love you too, Hustle.
Much love,
Bam.
Hustle. Out there hustling and motivating. Hindsight with Hustle. I love that. Hey, Geek Life Mike. Much love, Mike. Appreciate you with the $10. But he said, yo, boy. I can't. But hey,
Everything that pulls out
no.
of the couch.
Oh my God. But
My God.
no, I can't. No,
My God.
nope.
I'm being good today.
God.
Back on track. Hugger.
Oh my
what
God.
what stood out the most to you with these leaks?
The size of it and the detail of it. And you know, this is gonna sound weird, but let me hop on the train. It reminds me a lot of like a political bill where they will have like a Roe v. Wade, but then they'll have universal health care, but they'll sandwich it between controversial things. So when somebody votes for it, they look like they're voting against the better for all, but it's attached with so much other shit. I feel like they put red herrings and buzzwords into this, not only to probably catch the people who, like you said, put a false trap in there, but to keep buzzwords so people don't look a little deeper. Because 40's right. You're going to pull up by 2023? No, you're not. You're a $1 billion company and you're printing money hand over fist. You're GTA online for games right now. You are printing money. You are not pulling out of 100%. That. Like, no. So I think they put things in there that people are going to get sound bites. People are going to look at it. People are going to evaluate what's happening. And you know what this kind of does is puts Microsoft on everything we have is laid out for you, so you can't say we don't do things. It kind of like, this is our ass, we're showing it. If they did leak it, this is our ass, we're showing it. Here's every single thing. Everything that PlayStation was saying, not true. Everything that all these companies are saying, not true or true. Like, we know Phil Spencer, we know Microsoft, as much as we love them, are a billion-dollar company with Microsoft's backing, and they are making money moves. And the reason Phil Spencer is in the position he is because he is a wolf in sheep's clothing that plays the nice
100%.
guy. But I guarantee you, for a chance to further Xbox, he would do anything.
And this further leads into the next point, right? That I think it was Gene Park on Twitter. They said it feels like every news cycle around gaming has had Xbox at the center all year. It has been
all year.
They've been the it girl.
Xbox. Good. I mean, you go from Hi-Fi Rush to that surprise, like the shadow drop of Hi-Fi Rush in that showcase, to the flop of Redfall and all that led with that, to the it just boom,
Xbox,
it was just so much Xbox. And Marsha. No, but
Marsha.
Right. But no, it's so going into that point of like, not, did somebody press the send button knowing what would happen, even though it wasn't clear what would happen, just to kind of see this, and then jumping ahead of it and saying this is old news and throwing that whole thing out there, like not refuting anything, not denying any of it, just saying old news. Like that's crazy.
I like that. Gaslighting supreme right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we went to, what are you talking about? Like, this has already been this is new to you.
Yeah,
like,
you guys been
come on,
bro.
We talked about this, right?
What's crazy is the only way he could have been more calm and collected about it on social media if he would have just dropped a GIF, oops.
Like Google, how else is Microsoft gonna keep their name in everybody's mouth? They are one of the biggest companies on the planet. How else are you going to advertise by a little controversy and drama?
Yeah.
Hey, what they say, bad press is still good press, all right? Come on,
man.
As we've seen.
Bro.
And the only time that Sony got a little bit close to it was PlayStation Portal news, and it's just no.
Remember when this happened to
Blog
Cyberpunk to Project?
Right.
Remember when Project got leaked, and everybody, some people gave them sympathy. Watch people sympathize for Microsoft now, and watch something strange is going to happen in this vacuum. I don't know what it is. People are going to sympathize, or they're going to turn on Microsoft.
And that's something we've already seen on the internet. People are and we've even mentioned it here. And I know for me that ruined showcases, because now, like I said, I'm already expecting Fallout 3. I'm expecting Fallout 3 news now.
Yeah,
now every
absolutely.
time I go in every showcase, I need Fallout 3 news. But which, let's be real here, that is low-hanging fruit that they should have been throughout there. Like, come on, you could have made a fortune. Are you kidding me? Remake of Fallout 3, a remake of Oblivion. Like, come on.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd buy it for no other reason, just to have it.
Yeah, like it would instant sell, but back on track. So the controller, haptic feedback, along with VCA haptics doubles, which double as speakers. Only thing I didn't see on there was anywhere to blow on the controller. And I guess I'm shocked that we're going to haptic feedback, or maybe I'm shocked that it took this long.
Yes.
And the code name Sebel, I'll call it Sebel, which they have some funky code names.
Yeah, Brookhaven and Brooklyn and Ellenwood and Uther. I don't even know what Uther. That's an ugly word. Uther.
Right? And
I'm sorry.
But the things that stood out with this one is direct to cloud.
Yeah. Yes.
Precision haptic feedback. We're getting an accelerometer. Look, Giro Gizmo.
Gizmo gadgets.
Go gadget controller.
Oh, go gadget. Yeah. Go Gizmo gadgets. Yeah.
I'm actually shocked that this thing doesn't have a microphone on it, and because it has the whole lift to wake system. What if it would have been like a light version of the Kinect? Like, this whole controller is the Kinect, minus the camera, of course. Like, it just the whole, because that's what the Kinect was. Yeah. Whoa. Look,
Welcome to the new Connect.
Xbox
Welcome to
on.
the new Connect.
Like, Xbox on. Like, why are you yelling at your controller? Jump.
You
Like,
move a little
equip
bit.
fire spell. Equip fire
Could you
spell.
imagine? You know how
Bro,
like,
I played Skyrim with my Connect. I legit used to be like doing, bro.
You remember how the PlayStation will take like a screenshot? Could you imagine if the controller took a screenshot of you at that time? The angle that like down in my lap, getting all the chin, like
it's all.
Damn.
No, I didn't mean to screen share that. And it's like, Baron, are you gaming
I
it?
shared it to X.
Like, mind your
God dang
business.
it.
Mind your business. Baron, why your toes in the screenshot? I didn't even click the button.
This is how we accidentally get some other leaks going on because of those.
Oh my god. People get ruined, whole accounts get ruined, their whole internet presence.
Yeah.
But back to the point. So we have a new Xbox controller, and the thing that absolutely stood out the most to me was the fact that not only are we getting a new controller, they mentioned in another graph that this is aiming to be. They use the word core controller. So this made how we got the current upgrades with the USB-C and the new share button. Like these are the current core controllers. Now we can expect this to be the next step for core controllers. Now, I want to ask you, Roger, this question. Do you think with the haptic feedback and the speaker system, are we looking at something that's extremely similar to PlayStation, where you get certain noises that come through from the game? And is this going to be a retroactive thing, or is this going to be once this do you think, because of course, this could have been scrapped, I hope not, but this could be, are these going to be like games going forward? What's your thoughts on Codename Sebel?
Yeah, I thought the design was kind of weird looking. I will say that. Like, I was like, that's weird. But really, it doesn't surprise me. And like part of that too was the discussion about the cloud gaming, right? And the fact that they're going to move to cloud gaming. Like, this is not shocking. Like, Microsoft owns Azure. We all saw that coming. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, outside of the design, I was like, I'm not really actually that surprised by any of that leakage, right? Like that didn't actually surprise me as much as some of the other things that were leaked during the documents. So yeah,
I just have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, no, go ahead.
I have to say, like, we need to put some respect on and excuse me.
Uh-oh.
I've been playing I've been using it
Whoa!
to play Clone Hero recently. But no, this reminds me of like a lot of the Wii controller.
Yes, I thought the same thing.
Particularly because we talked a little bit about like the sounds coming out the controller, right?
Yes.
I'm playing Clone Hero, so I loaded up my old Guitar Hero. Whenever you messed up or you made a strum, you have to go blink, 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 and you can hear the noise. But you also have the gyroscope, the accelerometer. I know we make a lot of fun about Nintendo, and we're going to talk about Nintendo later. But we make a lot of fun about Nintendo being a little bit behind the curve, but that's only with graphics. When it comes to basically everything modern movement, when it comes to controller setup, it has been forged by Nintendo. So, I mean, we're probably not going to have any petty patent things going on, because if this were a Sony thing, that Sony did the thing and they were ripping, then we'd have some legal issue. Especially considering what's happening in the future, how they're talking and flirting with each other, we're probably not going to have anything pop off. But I mean, this is very much a kind of, let me grab some of the shit that I really like from, the Wii U controller.
No.
For sure.
It's funny that you say that. I find that funny, because do you think Nintendo's like, oh, that's cute, we did that like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Right?
They have to.
Oh, yeah.
Like
They
10,
have to.
20 years ago. They have to. Which is why
It barely
I
got
think...
an eyebrow raise. It was like,
Huh. People like to move while they play games, huh?
Yeah.
imagine that.
Shocking.
Imagine moving. Imagine a microphone in it too. Wow, that's crazy. No one
Wow.
did that.
We got a $20 super chat from Dragonheart Yobi. Much love to him. I love level 1 gaming, and nobody can't mean nothing. I probably read that wrong. It's my favorite group of individuals. on the internet. Peace, love, life as always, and I can't wait till y'all hit 10K followers. You will be a force to be reckoned with. Much love, Yobi. Thank you so much. Our
Love
very
Yobi.
first member. Much love to you. I appreciate you. But yeah, no, so it is that, that is a crazy point that this isn't the most, obviously everything that's going on with this outside of the direct to cloud.
Yeah, that's
This
new.
and even that they stole that from Stadia. But no. No.
Being real here.
Like I'm just saying. I mean, hey, no, but I wonder, right? Like, is this gonna? Because remember, I've always been saying that it's just gonna be Game Pass everywhere, and I wonder, is this gonna be like the new universal remote? Because I remember we used to torture teachers whenever we had a TV in class, and we would like just find whatever the TV was and turn it on, max out the volume, mute the movie we were watching. Wow, I was a menace. But
yeah, no kidding.
We really were.
Wow.
And he tries to play all innocent and nice.
I went to college.
Exactly.
I swear I was prom king and I went to college and graduated.
I believe
eventually. But look, so
chaotic good.
Yes, I'll go with that. I'll go
You're
with
very
chaotic
Carlac
good.
right now. You're very
Yeah,
Carlac.
you need
I love.
Yeah,
I love me some Carlac. Hey.
Hey.
Do you think
Muscle mommy.
that this controller, yes, it is coming. It's going to be part of their new core. But do you think because PC crowd has been asking for a haptic controller, you can kind of get the PS5 one half working? But could this be a Xbox?
Oh, because it is going to be
like, is it their drop down of like, hey, come buy an Xbox controller. You can play it on your PC. You can play it on your Xbox. And if the Design Labs does it right, and if they have accessibility and updates for the future, I don't see why PC gamers, because I know I would get one, or
absolutely
I would get it.
No.
Could you imagine playing God of War with an Xbox haptic controller on your PC?
Oh my
God, that's dirty.
What if that sounds better?
And then and you're all fighting Thomas the Tank Engine, like, but no, no, but I really
want that mod.
I really think that's what we're gonna get. The whole connect to anything. I wonder if it's, hey, as long as you have Bluetooth on your TV or Bluetooth on the screen and the app, you can connect. Like, you're gonna be walking around, it's like, let me pull out my controller and play the game right here. Like, I wonder if that's the angle they're kind of shooting for. Because we kind of already have that play anywhere thing. If you got a tablet, you got your phone. If you have your computer, hell, they're even selling controllers with TVs. But I wonder if they're really trying to take it to that next. Obviously, based on this information, they're taking it to that next step. But
controllers gotta be a lot cheaper if they do come with a speaker, because people are gonna smash their controller if somebody's talking to them reckless.
Ooh.
If you hear that voice come out of your controller when you're in your blind rage, you don't care where that voice is coming from. You're gonna puck that thing and you're gonna smash your controller.
A new wave of YouTube video with a whole bunch of RIP bozos.
Bring
people
back
like breaking
those,
their
like, wow videos. Yeah, bring those back.
I'm a hurt fans' feelings. I don't think we'll see Hellblade before this controller. I think this controller is gonna launch along with Hellblade, because if it has
Ooh.
now that's gonna hurt fans.
Insane.
That would
Hey, the color scheme. The color scheme.
Isn't
it fits
Wow,
along
it
with.
looks like it Ooh, you're right. You're very much right about that. That would be insane, actually. That would be a great integration, because that game is already trying to push all your sensory, but everything about your sensory. So why not add your physical? That would be great.
Sorry, Fame.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Sorry, Fame. I'm just. That would be
Dama
dope.
strikes again.
That would be
Dama
cool.
strikes again. That'd be absolutely.
I am horrible at putting out bad news. And
You are.
And it coming.
You are.
Yeah, Nostradamus. Come on.
So
That
Roger,
would be perfect.
if you didn't know, I have a very good track record of like bad news or news that doesn't benefit everybody.
Disappointing, yeah.
If I say it, it usually happens.
So when you were on our podcast saying this podcast is going to last another 2 weeks, I was like, Baron, you're joking. Baron, what?
You have one more week, friend. Get ready.
Yeah.
Look, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. No, but so that oh
You got
Lord, not
freakish
the Lord of
ability.
the half mass. No,
I
but
mean, that would be the best way to set the next game in a series that is, well, I guess it's not a series yet when the next game comes out, but to set a
yeah.
new precedent in a game that already set a precedent with their Psychosis. And to have
Yeah.
that tactile, ooh, I don't like that because they're probably
Oh,
gonna be
and
like
then the
bugs
haptic
skittering
feedback.
across.
I didn't even think of the haptic feedback part.
No,
I didn't.
yeah, the haptic feedback would be perfect.
I was
with
just
that.
thinking the
100%
audio.
that.
No, I was thinking the audio.
Experience.
I was thinking
Yeah.
100%
Oh
haptic.
yeah, fame. Hellblade ain't coming out until this controller.
And
Like,
But
these
that's
new
okay.
technologies are always paired with a game, and that would be a perfect game integration. You know, Ape
Oh, yeah.
Escape with the Dual Shock, the dual things, or freaking Little Big Planet with
Yep.
Dual Shock 3. So yeah,
Yep.
it would be perfect. Actually, it's.
Oh, I'm so
That's kinda
sorry,
genius,
I
fame.
hate
though.
how good that would be.
And then the design fits. Oh, fame. I am so sorry. This could.
I think you killed it because he hasn't responded yet.
Yeah. Oh,
He had a
I
heart
think I'm
attack.
on point. But
to the back.
so moving on from the controller, because that is the tip of this iceberg.
Yeah.
We finally got a look at the rumored digital Xbox Series X. It was always like it was always discussed. It was always I hear, you always hear these things, and shout out to Special Nick. If I'm not mistaken, he actually called it, was one of the first people to put it out there. Like, hey, Xbox is rumoring a digital Series X, if I'm not mistaken. And it's apparently it's here, and it looks like a router.
It does. It definitely does.
does.
It looks exactly like a router.
Yeah,
I hate
right
that.
now.
it looks like a router.
Yeah.
I am not a digital only guy, so Roger, give me your thoughts on Codename Brooklyn.
Yeah, well, so I actually am a digital only guy for a lot, because, so funny story, like I have a lot of games and I have games that are like sealed yet that are not even open, and my wife is like, what is this? Why is this game sealed? Well, it was on sale, so I bought it, right? What about this game? And I was like, I'm glad she doesn't see my digital my backlog, because she'd be like, oh my gosh,
She'll
what?
kill
You have all these, yeah. She'd be like, why do you have all these games? But I do like having digital, because I like the idea of and I don't know, maybe it's because I had these horrors of standing in line at GameStop, right, at midnight, and it sounds like fun until you get there and oh, sorry, we don't have any more games. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy it digitally. So I mean, that's how I play I have an Xbox Series S. I don't have an X, right? Because I was like, I don't really care about although who knows what's gonna happen with Unity, who's also very happy with
it!
Yeah. They're happy about this news. I'm telling you, the only people that are happy right now is Unity, saying, oh my gosh, thank goodness that there's something else that's being talked about.
Yeah.
Safe.
Yeah. But I don't know, maybe that might change. I don't know. I will say what's interesting about that, though, the other thing that kind of ties into this that Phil Spencer said, was that AAA publishers don't really understand the new market. They're still stuck in the brick and mortar physical release, and we're way past that, right? And they're catching up to us. And I thought that was, I paraphrased, he didn't quite say it that verbatim, but in essence that he was saying. And I think it's not shocking that they're like, and we're going to offer you a digital only X, because I think that's where his mind's going, right? That is the market is moving digital, it's not moving physical. Who knows what's going to happen with the whole Unity thing? I don't know, maybe that might change some mindsets, but yeah, it's not shocking, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's gonna be cheaper because it won't have a disc drive in it. So,
which, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know if I have that image up, there was an image that had the price point. It was $4.99, right?
It's $2.99 for 1 terabyte, $4.99 for 2 terabyte, and there's gonna be a Black Friday sale where it would be the 512 gigabyte one will be $200, as I said, Black Friday. So yeah,
cool.
See,
which is not enough, too. 500.
Yeah, no, yeah. But cloud gaming, I don't ever download games anymore on my Xbox. I was just like, I'll just play on the cloud.
Do you love that little notification that shames you? Like, would you like to download
Yeah.
this game?
Yeah. You played enough of this. Maybe you want to download it.
Are you gonna
No, I don't.
Absolutely not.
Are you sure?
Commitment.
Right there.
Just hit the
You
download
know,
button.
though,
I don't wanna.
to this
Go
whole
ahead,
leak
Hugger.
thing, I am surprised that this doesn't happen anymore, or it doesn't happen more, because I'm sure we all live in a city where there's an abandoned building. We have a couple abandoned buildings here, and one of them is a really big hospital. There is still patient files there, confidential patient files that you can go and read. There's government buildings with all their files still inside, so I'm not surprised that this did happen. And was it 38 terabytes? That's not a lot comparatively of data, but I'm just surprised it doesn't happen more.
I mean,
our security is so vulnerable. Like,
Oh,
it's so
dude.
freaking easy to hack everything. Like, y'all are under.
Yeah.
There's so
Vegas.
many like. Vegas right now is going under because Caesar's Palace, and I hope my
And
information
MGM, yeah,
isn't,
yeah.
like linked up in that. But they're having to pay people who are doing things. Every day there are like hospitals who are getting exposed ransomware activities. Like, you have no idea how many people are technologically ignorant at the top who still have their passwords as admin and no password.
Oh.
Like, it's
Yeah.
so easy to hack so many
Did-
things, or just like not even
Didn't
having the
Zuckerberg
information.
get caught because his was like 1 2 3
It
4
was
1 2
hella
3 4?
simple.
Yeah.
It was something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a tech exec. So
Oh.
these breaches, especially too for a company that breaches security, is hilarious to me, because again, I remember when I was actively being recruited, and it was just like, security team, yeah, we need to hire one, and it's
Woo.
like, I don't know if you got it yet, but going a little bit back to what were we talking about? We were talking about the consoles itself. Digital. Okay, so obviously the future is supposed to be digital, right? Like,
Supposed to be.
they're supposed to be, but there is a core group of people, especially too when you're talking about like $200 price points and everything like that. It's a core group of people who, look, gaming is expensive, right? So it's already hard to buy in, but then it's not only just having the buy-in with the console itself, but having the internet to supply a lot of these different things, right?
Mhm.
And for some people it's price, for some people's area location, right?
Yeah.
I have had enough money to stream for a while. I've had enough money to have a setup and everything like that, right? However, I couldn't stream until like 2 years ago, right? Because the internet available in my area, I'm 20 minutes outside of one of the largest cities in North America, right? So it has nothing to do with my location. It has to do with the way internet service providers work in America. Unfortunately, it's really segmented. In some place, it'll have Google Fiber, and then 2 blocks down the street, it won't have Google Fiber. For my setup, it was like, for the longest time, AT&T only had like, was pushing like 25 megs or something like that. And then eventually, no, Comcast was only pushing 25 megs, and then eventually AT&T came around and then installed a Google Fiber lines, fiber lines into our community, so I can finally like push higher data sources, right? So I can download, I can upload now. Mind you, I'm 20 minutes outside of the biggest city, right? A big city in North America. Think about how many other people are only caught, like Texas people have to deal with Spectrum, and Spectrum, I've heard, is
Oh, it's
terrible.
horrible.
It's a bitch.
That's all
It's a
we
bitch.
used to have.
Yeah, it's really bad at getting decent upload speeds, right? You have people in rural America, right, who cannot have the download speeds that you need. You have people internationally too, right? Because we're talking about like big Western markets, we're talking about big Eastern markets, right? But what about like places in like South America, the global South, everything like that, where they don't have all these speeds? Even in these places, we don't have the speeds. So that's my worry, that Microsoft is always going to do this because they did this with the One. And I think game developers are really trying to make this a thing since the PS Vita, which is like a smart idea, or PSP Go, I'm sorry. Smart idea way too early. Way too early.
Yeah.
And it's gonna become a smarter idea, Stadia and everything like that. We're gonna look back at the Polygon titties and be longing for the Polygon titties.
I just saw it.
I can't believe that
Hey,
got approved.
that is a thing. I
I
love you
can't.
guys.
I hate that got approved. I don't.
I love it so much.
Oh my god.
But
No, we can't have nice
it's a-
things.
we can't have that.
Oh god.
That's my only worry with digital.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not there yet. I
No.
don't feel like we're there, but I feel like game developers are still gonna push that there, and games are already a very expensive niche in the first place, and you're not considering the fact that internet in general is expensive. You know, Lord forbid they decide to do some more net neutrality crap that bungles up things, or data caps are a thing where you have to pay more money for data caps, so that's also a thing. But location as well, just proximity, and there are a lot of people
Yeah.
who want a game and they
Can't.
have the ability money wise, but they can't because
Yeah.
circumstance.
And this is a lot. My biggest worry, and I'm gonna take it a step further, is we don't have, because this is still, in my opinion, very new tech in the terms of ownership and use of digital products on this level of digital entertainment. I mean, hell, recently you saw people who bought movies through Amazon, but then Amazon lost the streaming rights and people lost their movies.
Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't even.
Don't get me started.
So laws,
Mhm.
like you know, we love Steam, and they have that whole thing of if Steam goes down, everybody gets the disc. Like, you know, that there's that thing, but everybody doesn't have that same groundwork, and everybody doesn't have to. So for me, I'm real big on buying physical whenever I can, especially, and oddly enough, we are in a situation where physical games of new games cost less than the digital version.
Yeah,
I
it's
could go,
a strange phenomenon.
I could go buy, for example, Saints Row, the new one, digital or physically for like $20, brand new collector's edition. Not collectors, but like the super deluxe. But then digitally, it still costs $70.
But,
Like,
That makes sense.
and that's a solid point. It's going to be more expensive too, because we were always
Yeah.
told that, hey, you know, once we go digital,
It'll
that
be
everything is going to be
cheaper.
cheaper and everything's going to.
Yeah.
But it's going to be sold on company, like it's going to be sold on like the Xbox store, right, or the PlayStation store, right? What incentive do developers have to have sales, because they don't have to compete with the secondary market, right? And it's not like there was a big issue with like Steam, because Steam wanted to be a monopoly, but thank God there are all these other people who have all these different, you know, fanatical and games and everything like these. GOG, love GOG, right?
I do too.
So many sales, and they always have the
Right.
cutest things.
Yep.
But at least there's a market to where you can divvy up, so there's not a monopoly. There are actually sales that are available, right? So you don't have to worry about it lasting, like, you know, at Microsoft, not Microsoft games, Nintendo games being $60 5 years after its release, right?
Good
But
luck
that's
buying a Pokemon Black. No.
you have
Man.
Splatoon 2 that's like the same price as Splatoon 3, which is like, what are you doing, dude? But that's gonna happen more, where like obviously greed is a thing. It's not about being cheaper, because they don't care, right? Prices just went up, right? It's about money, and now it's gonna be easier for you to just have a digital thing full price for way longer, because you don't have to worry about the secondary market. You don't have to worry about somebody else coming to undercut it. All right, GameStop is not going to be there to have it on sale for low.
Poor GameStop.
You know?
Poor
they're
GameStop.
sweating. They're sweating right now.
Yeah.
They're in trouble.
Poor
Look.
GameStop though, really poor GameStop.
Yeah.
They're
Oh
just
no,
one of
let me
those-
tell you
I
this.
had so
No,
many fond
I'm-
memories that it's like, I
As
like, don't get me wrong,
somebody-
I hate them, but I think
I don't want-
they screw people over. But damn, did I have some good ass memories of them.
I'm gonna
Fair.
say this. They keep shooting themselves in the foot and dropping the ball with these pre-orders for collector's
Yeah.
edition.
Oh my God.
But they are one of the few companies who has attempted to pivot like crazy. I remember when they bought Cricket, when they made they bought
true.
the figurine and toy site. They started pumping out PC parts and peripherals. They have pivoted. And shout out to Kev. Much love, Glorious Kev, for joining up and becoming a member.
Oh my god, they're turning into Mad Cats.
Yeah.
They're literally turning into Mad Cats.
Low key, and that might be a smart transition.
No,
to
but they're
continue.
pivoting, and and then remember the deal they made with Microsoft. where they changed over their POS, and then now anytime they sell Microsoft products, they get a percentage of the digital stuff sold from
Oh.
I
that
forgot
Microsoft
about
unit. So yeah,
Ooh.
all of these things, all of these
But
things has happened, and they pivoted, and I just don't want GameStop to ever go away. I always want a store that's
something.
for games
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nerddom. Yeah, like the period.
they're necessary evil, not only to
Yeah,
exposure. Like I can remember, like when you're bored at the mall and you're like a kid and it's just like, or a teenager, yeah, let's go to GameStop, right? Let's just
yeah.
like see what's
Yeah.
Just
going
going
on
to
and
the
what's going on with
mall
them.
is a foreign concept. Amazon is my mall.
Honestly, honestly, at this point,
Oh,
our mall is degraded in
I go to the
quality. It's
mall because
only a
I'm
oh.
like
theater.
90 and I like to get my steps in. I walk with all the other old people. It's great.
you,
They
Hey,
you
go
go
in
to
the morning.
Auntie Aunt's, you get a pretzel, and you get your
Yeah.
and you just go on your like hour-long
orange
walk
juice.
around the mall. Nobody wants to bother
Oh
you.
my.
Nobody's there.
Nope.
Nobody's there
Yeah.
in the
So
first
good.
place.
True. That's
I
true.
used to work in the mall. That was a very real thing. There was a whole exercise community.
Oh yeah,
But
they'd always in the morning, but it's a necessary evil for the secondary
yes,
market as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
It's such a necessary evil. And so yeah, they're not perfect, but it allows game developers uh, to keep themselves in check when it comes to prices. And I don't. It's another added reason why I don't really like the push to all digital. Lack of ownership, lack of access, and
yeah,
lack of ability and mobility in a market becomes even more close to a monopoly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you,
Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
well, I was going to ask on that topic though. Do you think like so? I feel like Xbox, their whole with the Game Pass, like what they're pushing that is like, hey, you don't have to buy a game, right? You can try it out, you can
Mhm.
play it, and then if you don't finish it by the time it leaves our service, you can buy it discounted on our digital store. So like, I think it's like a brilliant move. Like, think of Netflix would do that. Like, I guess I don't know. Maybe I probably wouldn't buy movies, but if they're like, hey, this is gonna rotate out, but you didn't get to finish it or you really liked it, you can buy it really cheap from us. Like maybe I don't think
Yeah.
I would do that with movies, but with games I would. Like, and I have done that. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I actually like that game, and I didn't get to finish it, so I'll go ahead and buy it. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's their model,
Yeah.
right? Like I think
Mhm.
that's what they're focusing on.
Subscription models are always better because you can plan out the money that you're going to have. You have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
set monetary value that you're going to get. You have expected customers who aren't going to necessarily buy out. Even if people buy out of Game Pass, they only have it for a month or two. There's usually a stable market or more stable market to track rather than fluctuating prices and, economies or fluctuating people who might buy one game and then choose not to for a couple months. You have a more dependable model. And it's easier to project that way in which you want to go
yeah.
fiscally into the future. I saw like some headphones that they're
Yeah.
trying to do a model-based subscription service for some headphones, and
Oh, really?
why for headphones? It's so stupid, right? And
Yeah.
like you can have it for 6 months, for 6 years. You can
But
keep on paying this money, and
what that
it be
is?
end
That's a
up more
layaway
the
program,
value.
girl.
Yeah, and
It's
people.
Yeah.
it's
There. I
layaway,
mean,
but it's more nefarious because
That's true.
if
That's true.
layaway, there's an endpoint. Subscription
That's
models, there's
true.
no endpoint. It's
Yeah.
to perpetuity for it's you're gonna have it forever,
yeah,
right? You're gonna be paying forever.
yeah.
So in six
Mhm.
months, you could pay off a set of headphones, or you could just keep paying it. And it seems cheaper in a short term, but in long term, no, it's
What do
not.
those
So
headphones
Yeah.
do? Do
I
they
Yeah.
vibrate or
I
something?
hate fame.
they look
Well,
like they look cheap
oh,
as
dude.
hell.
I
Honestly,
mean,
they
we've
look
seen.
Do
they're
they cook you
Bluetooth, and
dinner
it's just like they
to
look
be on a
cheap as hell.
subscription service?
It's
I,
not doing that.
Do they order me
Somebody's
Uber?
gonna buy-
Like
dude,
DoorDash?
there's
What are
there's
these things
whole.
doing?
What was it? I forgot which car it was that had a subscription service. The printer.
I forgot
The
about
printer
that.
company that's a subscription service, like, and it stops
Yeah.
working if you don't pay. Like, there's already really negative examples out there. Now, the whole idea of the complete digital was something we already live with, right? We already have a digital version of PlayStation, digital version of the Xbox, but now we're getting the Series X version. I overall for me, even though digital is very cool, I believe it is still a luxury, and the fact that it's not cheaper than physical is always going to be a problem for me, and that's why I still, anyway, I can have physical, I usually get it. Like, even though I have a digital copy of Cyberpunk, I have a physical copy of it. I'm gonna buy a physical copy of Starfield. Like like these are just things that I'm gonna do. I know it's not for everybody, but I would hate for my internet to go out and no longer have
Oof.
access to, like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like that would piss me off. Like all my games becoming useless.
You know,
But go ahead.
that's wild. I didn't even think of that, B. You know what's also wild is I'm just sitting over here like, yeah, I agree with you, and I can't physically remember the last game I bought. I think it was Uncharted like 3 years ago. I'm like, I'm nodding along like, yeah, physical. I'm like, wait, wasn't Hogwarts?
I just
Wasn't that digital? Wasn't Baldur's
I
digital
just-
too?
No, I just bought Disgaea 6 Ultimate Edition.
Nerd.
Frontline mission on the Switch. Like I'm gonna ever play these
Nerd.
games.
I actually did the midnight release for Tears of the Kingdom, and I was like, man, I
Ooh.
love midnight releases, yo. Sans the ass smell because it's still a game spot. It was a fun time, It was great. I love it.
Oh, I think
I'm typing
let
under
people
the
enjoy the
one there. I
games
hate
they
that.
want. Let people be able to. I respect GameStop more for them trying to diversify and yeah, their payments and all that stuff isn't great.
Yeah.
But at least they're not Ubisoft of taking this $90 game and now charging $20 for the complete edition in 2 months. To me, could you imagine?
I
That'd be
stopped
like
paying full price for Ubisoft game years
Me
ago.
too. Me
Like
too.
I learned
Yup.
all you got to do is give them like 3 weeks and it'll be
Yeah.
on sale.
100% off. Like, they are so
Like-
bad with it.
And then the
Yeah.
physical is probably on sale off rip.
Oh, yeah.
Like that I refuse to pay full price for Ubisoft games, not because they're bad or I don't enjoy them. It's just the discount is too quick.
Mhm.
And
But
they're
no,
on
so
Game Pass now too.
Yeah, exactly.
oh god. So I tend to run over with my shows when I'm hosting because I don't be paying attention to the time. I just be talking to y'all.
Mhm.
But we got to talk about Nintendo, dude.
Yeah.
So Phil wanted to make that career moment. Could you imagine being the guy who like reined in and bought Nintendo?
I
Like
don't think
who
it would
led that
be
charge?
seen as favorably as we think it would. So we
Oh,
would be
he'd
like,
go
that's
down
kind of cool.
historically, he'd be a bad guy. Historically. But at that moment in time, he'd be like Julius Caesar and people would love him at that moment. Like
And then turn into Caligula. Yeah.
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 I want to know how much coke. Like, how much coke was he having? Like, how much
That
was
is
he
a
like? Yeah, we're gonna
decision.
do it. We're gonna get everything right. We're gonna get Microsoft, and then we're gonna get Nintendo, and then we're gonna get the world. How
I'm never
much coke?
leaving. I'm never gonna quit.
I
Oh my
applaud it, right? I think, and it's one thing to go for ZeniMax, right? Because they're doing their thing, and it's another thing to Warner Brothers, right? Because they have their entities and they have all of that, right? But it's not Nintendo, right? I understand, and if you look at the document, there was a big portion as to where they were like, okay, yeah, we can get Warner Brothers and yeah, we can get ZeniMax, but we're still not getting the mobile market like we really want to, and we're still not getting what they really want. They don't want just more North American, right? They want more of that Japanese, the Eastern market, right? So,
Yep.
I mean, who's the king of the Japanese Eastern market?
Nintendo.
All right, I understand the logic. What I don't understand is all the pathways in between. You think that Nintendo lasting through hell, Jesus Christ himself, when it comes to a gaming industry, right?
100%.
Resurrected it, saved it from his sins, is going to sell out to Microsoft. It's going to take a
Yeah.
huge amount of money, right? I'm talking about damn near half
Probably
of
close.
Microsoft. Microsoft has a lot of
Yeah.
money.
No,
right?
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I mean, look how much they paid for Activision.
Yeah, right? So it's not just like they don't have the money, but I think there's an amount of pride that Nintendo has, and honestly, culturally wise too, like in order to make sure that Nintendo stays itself and stays stays. All right. I
Yeah.
don't see them giving up very easily. And I understand that money is a thing. Cash rules everything around me. You give a big enough check, people do some strange things for a piece of change, right? I'm
Man,
not
never
saying
lied.
that is not ever going to happen in the world. I'm just saying that I feel like this is like the most highly ambitious move that you can ever have. And also too, that is a prime example. If the FTC thing clears past, and that's fine,
Oh,
this is the exact this is what you need in order to say, oh yeah, it's a monopoly. That would easily
Yeah.
bring it to monopoly status.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense. No,
I,
how much
let me
coke?
let me tell you what I really think is going on. What I think they're working out a way to get Game Pass onto the Switch.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I
Oh, yeah.
agree.
I personally think that's the old, like, that would be winning over it. That would be buying Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
is getting Game Pass on Switch. That would be the quickest, fastest way into the taking over the Asian market,
Mm-hmm.
is by teaming up and getting your
Oh, yeah.
service on Nintendo. And then think about, you're gonna have folks like us. You're gonna have, instead of taking trips to New Zealand to play games early, you're gonna have a whole separate Netflix list of games.
Yeah.
In the Japanese or the Nintendo Game Pass.
Ooh.
Like it, yeah. Oh, I think that's what we're gonna get out of all of this. I think that when the dust clears and everything just settles, I'm thinking we're gonna get some form of Game Pass. Because remember, the Nintendo Switch was already working with the streaming
Mhm.
stuff. You had Hitman, you had Control,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
like,
Seems
and
to be
these
okay, too.
are big games that
Yeah.
look great on
Yeah.
streaming on the Switch. I think I can't stand you.
Sorry, that one was in the backlog. I had to let it out.
I, I think this is what I really think this is what's gonna come out of this. Like, I can't stand y'all. Roger, what do you think about Xbox's, or Phil Spencer's glorious email, where he's standing on the top of his battlement, talking to the soldiers, letting them know what's next, what's to conquer next. What do you think?
Well, so it was an email, right? So like, I know I've sent emails that are just kind of like, wouldn't it be funny if this happened, right?
Yeah.
And now somebody in HR is like, hey, probably don't have those candid conversations in emails or IMs. If you have those kind of conversations, maybe call them instead of doing that, right? Like that's a lesson learned here, right? Like, don't send casual emails about like, wouldn't it be cool if we, like, they are not ready for it yet, but they don't know they're not ready for it yet, but they're ready for it, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I think that's part one. But the other thing is, like, I agree. Nintendo's over there, like, saying again, that's cute. Like, we haven't heard anything from Nintendo, like, any other response. They're just like,
No.
yeah, that's not gonna happen. But it's cute that you think that.
That's
Yeah.
nice. I'm glad high ambition, sweetie. I love
Yeah.
it. Like,
Oh, that's so cool. Next. Hey, no,
Anyway.
Yeah.
Geek Life Mike, he brings up a good point. He was like, Nintendo might be insulted now by the implications. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest. I don't think Nintendo cares. This is the same. This is the same company that marketed cardboard boxes and string along with their brand new
Oh.
console. They don't care.
Damn life, baby.
They don't care. And they thrive in they are the market leaders.
Yeah, they can do what they want.
They are leading so much in such a way that when most people talk about competition amongst games, we don't mention them, not out of disrespect, but it's almost not fun to talk about when you bring in Nintendo.
Mhm.
Like, it ruins the conversation when if you go, we have the fanboy arguments all the time, but the moment you bring in Nintendo, all of it goes mute because it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, sales, units, lore, hype, mainstream media, every metric you can think of.
Loyalty from fan base, dude.
Yeah.
Bro,
Mhm.
they could have ran they basically had a whole section of PAX West, and they
Mhm.
opened up a mini Nintendo land
Yeah.
and people were fighting. It had its own lane.
Mhm.
Just to give you, because Roger was there, just to give you perspective of how big Nintendo is. When you were going into the arch part of PAX West, there was a whole separate arrow and guidance and security leading you towards the Nintendo area.
Huh.
And then there's everybody else.
Yeah.
That makes sense. They're based up there. Yeah.
Yeah, and they also had Pokemon in the PAX West.
Yeah.
so
They
still
had a giant
presence.
Pokemon area.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
The
Yeah.
Pokemon company is right there too. It's right next door. Ironically enough, it's right next door to Microsoft Seattle's campus. So
Yeah.
the Pokemon
No,
company and
but this
Nintendo.
is
Yeah.
bro, like they came out look, it ruins the fun of debating and arguing when you bring in Nintendo. I know when I'm talking about competition, it's so astronomically different that I put it on it's just like I'm not gonna compare it to PC. PC, Nintendo, they're over here because they're just so astronomically big that it's no competition, and the air leaves the room. It's like, oh, here come Nintendo.
Nintendo is our Star Wars. Nintendo is, no matter what, it is so brand recognizable. Because I love my parents. They're not gamers, but I show them this. They're like, you got that Nintendo controller.
Nintendo.
They know.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah. Can't pick out the Xbox, can't pick out the PlayStation controllers.
Yeah.
They know the Nintendo.
Look at the characters, right? I mean, the characters,
Yeah.
right? It's so recognizable. Yeah, absolutely.
Top selling movies.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say Mario swept,
Yeah.
right? Mario was crazy. We still refer to everything as Nintendo.
my kids play Kirby. Like, bro, it just my kids have Switches and they like it's ridiculous. But I personally
game of
think out of
2020.
all of this,
Nintendo.
And I need to actually play Forbidden. My niece has it. I need to borrow it from her. But it's that's why I feel like it's Coke. Like I don't. It's so ambitious.
It's wild.
And especially too to have it down in writing. Like having it down in writing is like if you're planning and everything, you're like, wouldn't it be cool? You never put that. You never put it down.
yeah, you don't make that real.
Yeah.
At PlayStation, if PlayStation wanted to, they could be like, but this, look at this, right? And if anything moves towards that, they have more fuel in the fire. And now they have receipts too.
And oh my god! And what's sad is they have the market cap. They have the money to buy. It's just
they have the money to buy anything.
Yeah, that's the part that everybody likes to lean into. What's scary? It's like if somebody's selling, they could buy. Like I always make the joke, but it's very real. If PlayStation was selling, Xbox could buy them. Like, and it wouldn't even be a debate. It just not Xbox, Microsoft. But
Yeah, because Xbox is actually really tiny in compared to
a
lot of Microsoft. It's pretty tiny, dude. Like, if you go to their campus, there's like a little section for Xbox, or at least on the main campus in Seattle, it's like a little section, and then it's just like everybody else.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
Outmail does bigger numbers than Xbox, but
or
Outlook,
especially when you come to the cloud stuff too.
Outlook doing numbers, bro.
He is actually dead. He's dead ass, dude. But he's dead ass. Like, if you look at the campus, because, like, and I have friends there also, too. They're showing me a campus, and it's just like, oh, this is the Xbox team? Oh, this is the okay. All right.
Yeah.
Neat.
It's like, oh, we missed it. Okay, let's go back.
Yeah, we missed it, actually. you miss it because it's literally in a corner.
Okay, so I didn't look over all the list of the games that were potentially leaked. Before we wrap up, what game stood out to you guys the most? Like, what was, like, for me, it was the idea of Fallout 3.
Hell yeah.
Easily, that trumped everything. If I could get Fallout 3 built in a Fallout 4 manner, I'd be extremely happy. But in a post Starfield world, do I have time to play Fallout 3 over again?
I'll make it. I'll make time, damn it. I will make time. I will go and I'll do that survival guide over and over again, please. Like, for me, it's one of my favorite games. Like, all time.
Hands down. Yeah.
I love how many times, like, I was just like, I turn on the radio and I was like, let's just go out in the wasteland and just figure out what's happening, right? It is a big thing that I'm looking forward to. I that would probably be mine, and if not that, then probably Dishonored 3 would probably be that up there for me. But yeah, or licensed IP game. I wonder what that is too. Just
At that
Bethesda.
point, I think because this was old information,
Mhm.
one of the games had to be like Hi-Fi Rush, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah. Okay.
One of them had to be. I forgot exactly what, because once again, all out of all the stuff I looked at, I looked at a lot of the surface stuff. There was
Yeah.
so many images and charts, and it was a lot of data, whatever put out there.
Yeah.
And then Fame brought up Doom Year Zero.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
I still haven't
Oh,
played
Fallout
Seminole,
3
but I heard.
remaster. Yeah, whatever.
Mhm.
Look, I want a remake, but no, they would do a remaster. They wouldn't do a remake. I can't.
I mean, how can you remake greatness? Well, the Resident Evil
true.
4 remake. Never mind. All right, let's continue.
Ada! But no. So, Hugger, what game stood out to you?
Bingo.
I like anything that's under code names because that means it's either tied into something massive like a big movie, another game. I like code names because it's always like, ooh, what's you working on, girl? Can I see? Or it's something brand new that's gonna have millions put into it that's either gonna flop or do well. I love the code names, but probably Ghostwire Tokyo. I know
I was gonna ask.
I really love that game. That was good.
Mhm.
I want to see a sequel because they kind of left it on an area where I'm like, I need more, please. I need more demons, more things to face, more just that polish, but with a more of a story because I felt like it got cut off halfway. So that Fallout, of course, and whatever else they didn't show us that it has code names. I want the code name.
Code name Eaglefoot. I would
Eaglefoot, and it's a tie-in for the last Avenger movie that's gonna come out in this phase, bruh.
I'm sorry, Baron. You set yourself up for Eaglefoot. You're looking forward to Eaglefoot, like.
Oh, I did.
It had to have
I
a
did set
foot in
myself
there.
up. Yeah, I did
to
that.
have a foot. You set yourself up there.
I did that.
Yeah.
I did that. I'll take.
Yeah.
I'll take that one. I was gonna say eat, but okay, Roger.
What game? Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, what game?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So for me, it wasn't so much the games that are coming out because I'm like, well, that can change, and also, we know like studios change their minds all the time, and things change. The thing that stood out to me though was like they underestimated, and they weren't the only ones. They underestimated Baldur's Gate 3 though. Like that was interesting that they did not expect that to be as big of a hit. So much so, and I think like, so I've had a long discussion about Baldur's Gate 3 and the fact that now it's finally coming to Xbox, but it's not going to have the split screen on the S, right?
Series S, yeah.
And and I heard arguments like, "Oh, is this a detriment to developers going forward?" I'm like, remember 6 years ago when Baldur's Gate 3 was being developed, they didn't know all the different SKUs that Xbox was going to offer. They knew one, right? Probably the higher end one.
Oh, did Roger cut out?
Yeah, he froze for me too.
So,
Oh, Roger froze. Screenshot.
No.
don't get the man.
I got to screenshot our guest, but no. Go ahead, Woody.
Dev kits, you're only given but so much information, right? Because you don't also want there to be leaks as well. So you're basically given the bare minimum or the easiest, most stable working prototype, basically, or libraries or set of data to work with. So I can imagine that they didn't have that all the things that they wanted to available in their arsenal until the last minute, and in development, it especially at the baseline, if you don't plan for it, you're already working to the last minute. You can't totally change your scope to add on such a rich feature at the end to optimize it. Like especially to optimization is hell in itself, right? That's a whole team that does optimization in the first place. So doing that would be crazy. It's too many moving parts, too many pieces.
And you know what? Because we'll wrap it up on this. Roger, you back? Okay, well we'll wrap it up.
Roger, come back. You can blame it all on me.
Oh,
Roger, come back.
Baby, come back.
Did it work? Did I serenade you, Roger?
But no. So wrapping it up. Baldur's Gate 3 was undershot. And I'm gonna be honest, my final thought with that is marketing, marketing, marketing. Marketing saved. It was that bear. It was that
Yes.
bear scene.
It was
That and then
absolutely the
TikTok.
bear. Yeah.
Yep.
and
Social
TikTok,
media and especially TikTok and the romance component marketing is what launched that game into the stardom. Because
Yeah.
Divinity 2 was just as a lot of the similar systems.
Yeah.
And it's probably better polished and it was on the Switch.
It's the
Yeah.
highest selling CRPG because no one ever bought into them unless it's a very specialized computer thing, right? And
Yeah.
it's so funny too. I would expect like Diablo to be getting the love that Baldur's is doing right now, considering
Thank
the
you.
history and
And just the type of game.
yeah, just the
Yeah.
type of game in general,
Yeah.
right? The marketing, all of that different type of
Yeah.
stuff as well. But never underestimate the power of social media
Media.
in their sex.
Girl,
Yeah.
do you want to know what did it for me to convince me to buy it?
Lord.
Yeah. What?
Roger, just
I'm
know
gonna
you
be-
did this.
I'm gonna be so ashamed of myself. So I was watching like Strolly and all of them play it, and I was sitting with Gabe and watching them play, and I was like, oh, this looks like fun. I don't know why I didn't think it would look like Divinity. And then I feel like I have to hide my face. And then I watched a video on TikTok, and Lady Dimitrescu's voice actress is in the game, so I bought it.
See?
Shame!
Ta-da! For shame!
Shame!
It's Lady D, and I
Shame
was
her.
like, oh, that's Maggie. Of course I'm gonna buy it. Oh.
Never underestimate. Hey, I will say simp sales happened for Resident Evil 4, okay? Because
That's true.
bro.
That's
they
true.
were also loading up the Lady D and the sexy Leon things too, because simp
Yeah,
sales have
oh,
to work.
True.
Asterion has probably sold a lot of the stuff too, and Karlak, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, Karlak. I would have bought the game for Karlak. But yes, so moving forward, guys, real quick, games to play. Oh, go ahead, Bordy.
oh, Elder Scrolls 6 might be, Fame mentioned it, might be further along. I doubt that though. I still think they're lying. That's just me.
Hey. If it's 2026, that is way more reasonable than I thought it would be.
Mhm.
I was ready to be 40.
Yeah.
I was
2020,
ready to
40,
play Elder
yep.
Scrolls at 40. I'm
What's going-
32. I was ready for what is that, 8 years? Yeah, I was ready.
Yeah.
What's coming out first, that or GTA 6?
Star Citizen will come out before Elder Scrolls does.
Damn!
Oh.
Damn!
Evil too.
Oh my God!
The
Wrap it
Cowboys
up.
will win a game
Roger.
before.
Oh. Well, no, they've been winning. But
they'll
you
win a
mean
Super
a
Bowl.
playoff game? Ooh.
They'll win a Super Bowl.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I just
Stop
gotta
it.
dig at Fame.
Stop it.
I just gotta dig
Don't
at
do,
him.
don't do that to Fame. Shoot, the Jets might lose point. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, Roger!
Lion.
What should people play or watch? What are you recommending that people play or watch?
Oh yeah. So first of all, Spectrum. That's my internet. That's why I went out.
We
So
talked about
I'm
it
down
earlier.
back. Yep.
Point for
They were
it.
listening.
They heard you talking.
We got him.
Yeah, we got them.
Get him.
What to watch? So I am really hooked on What We Do in the Shadows.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
I love that
Okay.
show. Oh my gosh. I'm a little behind because like the new season came out, so I'm still catching up. Or it's halfway through, I guess, the new season. But oh my gosh, that show is so good and so funny. And I can't believe that's on. Like, I know it's FX, so it's not quite
Yeah.
like network, but I'm like, really? They could that show is so brilliant and I love it. What have I been playing or games that I should suggest? Trombone Champ. Yes, it's on Nintendo
Yeah.
Switch now.
I'm gonna bring my trombone out if you want to. That makes. I have my trombone in my other room. I play it too, so I love that game. It's so fucking cute.
Oh, and on a Switch they have it where you can control the yeah. So you
that's
the
cool.
thumbs on the thing, and then you can
Traces.
control with the with the slider with your hand with the Joy-Con. Oh, it's so great. It's so funny.
I
Nintendo
love
My
it.
thinking
wife was
ahead.
filming. Yeah, right. Yeah. My wife is like, like my wife plays games, but she's not like as much of a gamer as I. But she like saw me playing this, and she's like, "What are you playing?" And then she had to film me because she was like, "I gotta send this to my friends because they will never believe that this is an actual game."
This
See,
made me
I
so
love it.
happy. I was like, "Is there a way for this game to? You can actually control what you."
Yeah.
I mean, I bought it for PC. I'm buying it again. Like,
Yeah.
my
Oh,
God.
it's so funny.
See,
I will say it doesn't
So
work as
happy.
well as like like the
Alright.
controller, but it's still fun. It's
Yeah.
still funny,
Oh
right?
no,
Like,
yeah. I play trombone, so that's all I needed. That's all I needed.
oh, the game is so funny. I love it. It is just so goofy and it's fun. Yeah, so it's fun.
Yeah.
And then movies. Is that the other thing you mentioned? Yeah, movies.
yeah. Or just whatever you recommend to folks, whatever's entertaining you as of late.
So I am embarrassed to say this, but I'm like late to the Agatha Christie like series because I love Agatha. I love like dramas and the like mysteries and stuff of that.
McDonald's
And
Pokemon cards again.
I gotta go, guys. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what I mean. For dinner.
Yeah. But yeah, like we watched a Murder on the Orient Express, and then we're gonna be
one.
watching a Death on the Nile, and then obviously the new one,
Oh, they're
a
both good.
Haunting in Venice. Yeah, I'm super excited to see
Yeah,
that.
they're both good.
Yeah.
I'm
Did you know
nervous
this
for that.
about? Did you know this about Agatha Christie? I didn't know this until like I started researching this. You know that outside of the Bible, she is the most read book. She has the most read books of all time. Like it's crazy. It's crazy
I
to
did
think
not
that.
know that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it'd be Stephen King.
yeah,
Yeah, me
yeah.
too.
You would think so too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
but
you would think.
And the other thing that's
He-
interesting. Well, go ahead. I didn't mean.
I was gonna say I would bet Stephen King is the most like
Output.
the author with the most movies watched.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Think so. But the other thing that's really interesting about her is that she was rejected 6 times before somebody actually picked her up on her book. So that's just encouragement for anybody else there that's looking to do something creative, and like rejection is part of the process.
Look at that inspiration, hugger.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's on Prime, but that's where I watched it, but I don't know where else it's at. Watch a documentary called Kelsey. It follows Jason Kelsey, who was Philadelphia Eagles, and the Super Bowl he played against his brother, Travis Kelsey, and they just kind of like go the whole buildup of it, and him struggling with, he's 35 and he can't even walk and play with his kids, and another kid on the way. It just kind of breaks your heart, and you kind of root for him at the same time. But we all know that he did lose that Super Bowl. To play, go play something that you already started. You know it's been sitting there for 6 months. Go get it done. Go finish it. Please. Get something done. Don't start something new. Just finish what you already got, baby. Come on.
What do you mean I can't buy another game?
Calling us out.
What do you mean? Humble Bundle just popped out. The new
Exactly.
Humble Bundle.
Oh wait, let me buy new ones, please. I'm gonna
Y'all
keep
need
buying
to chill.
them.
guys
Fanatical.
need
What do you
to
got
chill.
too?
Bro, look, I'm telling you.
I can't
Bordy,
be-
what you got?
I got shame because I got rocket in the chest, dude. Fiona and Cake. All right, Adventure Time. I'm so excited too. I love Adventure Time, one of my top shows like ever. I was really worried because when they do spin out, some shows just need to like die. It's done.
Yeah. Let it go.
Just let it go, right?
Kill it.
But there was still a potential more story for it, and I do like the twist because if people don't know, it's supposed to be Fiona Cake was supposed to be like the gender rent version, but they're not just doing the easy thing. They're like adding to the lore of the original universe and making it funny and creative. It's just so freaking good, dude. It's so
That's
good.
what I'm talking about.
If you haven't watched Adventure Time since years ago, watch it. It's way more introspective, way more thought-provoking, way more trippy, way more cool. I told you guys that I've been playing more Terrar Hero because yes, so Clone Hero is the thing that I've been playing, and I shouldn't because I have so many other games that I've started and I have not finished. So many other games, but I decided 3 o'clock in the morning, let's play it. And also tonight, 12 o'clock on the dot on the East Coast Standard Time. I don't know everywhere else. Separate Ways. I talked about it. My game of the year, although Baldur's Gate is pushing it. Resident Evil 4 remake. Separate Ways is coming. is coming with some new heat, and so watch that. I'm probably gonna stream it or something tonight, but
Hey,
I'm
word?
excited. So yeah,
Word?
I'll probably stream it. Yeah, on Twitch.
Be
So
watching it.
twitch.tv/boarding with board. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Roger, let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, gamerheadspodcast.com is our website. But then any podcast, wherever you get your podcast, you can find Gamerheads. So.
But yeah, for Fame, play Starfield and watch Uncanny Counter Season 2. Nobody want to play that or watch that. Don't listen to Fame's advice. So my advice is go play Starfield and go watch Uncanny Counter 2. Season 2, it is up on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard it's a great show from an actual credible source. Not this David character. But yes, that is it. We went over a lot. Like, subscribe. You have officially leveled up to 262. Much love. Thank you so much. Get all your news from lv1gaming.com and watch our faces as we say bye.
Bye.
Bye.